Today, obviously, you clicked on the video. You know we gotta talk about Venom 3, The Last Dance, which is a very strange movie. I don't want to go as far as to say like it's a bad movie, because like if it's like a legitimately bad movie, that means like I have like no enjoyment found in these. I actually defend the first film quite a bit. I think it's kind of different, but this one is a little bit different, and it mostly deals with I keep wanting to say Tom Hardy. It's Eddie Brock. It deals Hardy. With Eddie Brock. If you've watched the trailers, you know what this movie's about. There's some bad monsters that are coming from Noel, who are coming to basically kill Venom, and that's it. I mean, if you've seen the trailer, it barely shows like anything else. There are some spoilers which we will not get into. This is spoiler free.
It was painfully mid.
He says painfully mid.
It is in the purgatory between mid and bad.
It does. It definitely straddles that line quite a bit. It is
just, I don't know what the movie was even for.
That's a tough part.
Other than just to have a third movie for a trilogy,
like to have like a send off.
Yeah,
because I mean, like it was a weird place to end on the second film.
Yeah, because the second film has Tom Holland in the end credit scene.
Like the No Way Home stuff. Yeah.
And then it goes nowhere.
Hold on a second.
He's cooking.
Well, hold on, let him cook. No,
it's just I don't know. It's just such a weird movie.
Well, most like superhero like franchises come in trilogies, so I feel like they kind of had to do something of that sort.
Because it's the only Sony product that has been decent,
right?
And I say decent pretty loosely. A lot of people still just don't like Venom.
Which is fair.
I agree with you. I like the first one.
I love Tom Hardy. He's one of my favorite actors, and you know he loves this franchise. He loves doing it, and you know more power to him. But he said on social media, and I'll try to pull up. It says like he has no regrets in the way that this. And I was like, you sure about that? Have you watched this thing? Did you watch your own movie?
Yeah, that was before the premiere for sure.
Half the movie is like. I mean, it's awkward because it's like half the movie is like him just walking around
in different places.
Talking
That's
to himself.
a good point.
Like talking to himself, because he does the voice of Venom. And and I don't know why he walks really strangely. Yeah. I don't know if he has some sort of condition. If he does, I apologize. But like he walks
that Jacob Peak walk.
He walks the same way I do, like after I've been at a pool for too long, and it starts to like chafe between your legs. So you have to keep your legs apart so they don't chafe up against each other. That's kind of the way he walks. That may be. They have like cameo characters, and not like anybody like really by name. I mean, there's Noel obviously, and you know what you see from him in the trailer is kind of what you get in the movie. And then they have some other named actors that have been in other superhero stuff, but none of them are playing superheroes. So it's just their roles could have been filled by literally anybody else. There's some interesting music. The dynamic between Eddie and the dynamic between Eddie and Brock. I'm tired. The dynamic between Eddie and Venom is actually like the best part about this film, and it's like a very small part of this film,
right? Yeah,
which I thought was kind of sad, because like there was a lot of concepts of like, oh, they're reminiscing on their time together and kind of trying to pick up these aspects of, well, what your life could have been if any of this didn't happen. And I think that part of that was pretty interesting, but then they just threw a whole bunch of random characters. They had a whole character arc for some lady that like you don't care about the entire. I don't even know what her name is.
No, Dr. Pan. It starts with a P. I know that.
Something. She's a doctor.
Dr. P.
Yeah, but it's really just mid, and I was disappointed because I was actually excited going into this film.
Yeah, and like there's just a lot of weird characters that don't need to be there. Like, you have characters to pull from the first two movies, and literally none of them are there except for the gas station, the convenience store lady.
Yeah.
And she's only there
she's
there for 3 seconds, and it's such a weird scene.
It is very weird. And then it completely moves on right after that.
And it's just, the action's okay, and there's oddly enough not a lot of action. And like,
I was shocked.
It's just, it's a lot of walking around.
there was more action with like the people than there was like the monsters that you see in the film. And there's like a lot of heavy action within like the last 15 minutes or so.
And it's like it happens like once it starts.
And like the monsters are cool.
Yeah.
Like they're actually kind of intimidating, but like the whole lore behind it, like it feels very jumbled.
Yeah.
And I hesitate to say that you should watch this like at one time as like a marathon. I think part of me says it makes more sense that way if you watch it all at once.
Yeah.
But then part of me is like, no, because this movie actually is really disjointed from the other two.
Yeah, the first two feel like they actually belong together.
I feel like this was kind of like a Joker 2 sort of situation where I feel like Tom Hardy just kind of wanted to have a last go around with the character.
Yeah.
Whereas like Joker 2 was apparently a lot of it came from Joaquin Phoenix and his dream, his vision of like of the movie. So if that's the case, you should stop doing that.
I think this is just Tom Hardy wanted to make a third movie and everyone else just threw the towel in. They barely tried.
That's really what it is.
Because I like Tom Hardy's acting, even though these movies are goofy. Like I like his style with Venom, like talking with his other side.
Like it was really cool concept. If you didn't like the first film,
you won't like this one.
You probably won't like this one. If you didn't like the second film, you really won't like this one. I think right now this is sitting at 40% Rotten Tomatoes. The second one has like 50 or something like that, and the first one has like 30.
Yeah, that's odd to me. I think the first one's the best one.
It is, but no, it's strange. But that being said, like we want you to go see this film. Like, is it necessarily worth your time? I mean, like that should be up to you.
Yeah,
I mean,
at least it's short.
The reason why you're watching this should be just to see someone else's perspective on it, because we should not be telling you, oh yeah, don't go see this movie. It's different for like streaming stuff where we have like streamer skip, where you can choose like, okay, you can sit down at your couch and watch this movie, or you can watch something else on your streaming stuff. But for this, you should support your local theaters. You should support all that stuff. I think you should go see this film for yourself and formulate your own opinion about it. But from our perspective, I mean, it's something. It's got really cool moments. It's got a few highs and like a lot of lows.
Bleh. I am gonna give it a 4.5.
4.5.
Yeah,
he's going higher than IGM.
I'm going higher than the Joker 2.
Oh, that's right, because you gave it a 4.
Yeah, that's why I'm giving it a 4.5.
If you haven't watched that, go check it out.
Our video, yes.
Yeah, sorry,
the movie, no. That one I will tell you, don't go watch.
I still think you should watch it. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to, just because I want to hear the buzz. But
just watch Mr. Puddles.
Okay. For this movie, I think I'm going to give it like a 5.5. So we'll kind of even that out to a 5. Yeah. I mean, like, he knows me. Like a 5.5 is really low, like on my end. Like I've hardly ever given a movie like lower than like a 5.
Right.
So, except for maybe The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
that's a different breed of movie.
1.
I think they're both just ridiculous in their own ways, and they're both like shouldn't have been made.
No,
probably. But either way,
that one makes me more mad than this one.
I agree.
This one, they're both terrible. I say terrible. This one's mid.
Yeah, it's mid.